Good afternoon, viewers. So we are back with our session. Yes, we have completed our short vowel words before. Now we are going to see long vowel words. Okay. So in short vowel words, what you have is that a consonant, vowel, and consonant. So I have given you a list of words. Now we are going to see long vowel words. First, tell me the difference between short vowel words and long vowel words. Short vowel words is nothing but the letter says its phonic sound. Okay, so if the letter is A, it says the sound as A. But in long vowel words, what happens is that the letter does not say the phonic sounds. It says its actual sound of the letter. If it is A, it says A. If it is E, it says as E. If it is I, the sound will be the actual sound of I is I. For O, O. For U. The another one is that two vowels when combined together, that is in case of walking vowels, if two vowels join together in a word, the first vowel says its actual sound of the letter. That is, the first one is walking and the second one is talking. Okay, so this is the difference between long and short. So today's session is about long vowel words. So we can start with this. Long vowel sounds happen when the letters make the actual sound of the letter. The one which I told you is long vowel words are nothing but the letter makes the actual sound of the letter. Okay. The long vowel sounds are frequently made by placing two vowels together. That is, if you have two vowels together, the first one sounds and the second ones will be walking. First one is talking and the second one will be walking. Okay, this is the main intro of long vowel sounds. Okay, next one is the long vowel sounds like the name of the letter. There are two ways. Only in two ways we can see whether it is a short vowel word or a long vowel word. The first way is that two vowels next to each other. The one case I told you before, two vowels if combined in a single word, that is, it comes next to the first vowel. That is the one way we can find it as it is a long vowel. Then the second one is place E at the end of a word. So in end of a word, if E is placed at the in a word, if E is placed at the end, then that is also a long vowel sound word. Okay, the two ways is, the one is two vowels next to each other and the second one is place E at the end of a word. Okay, so what are the vowels we have? So we have five vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so in short vowel words, what we see is that you can see consonant first and in between in the middle you have vowel and consonant, that is CVC words. That is your short vowel word. But in case of long vowel words, you won't have like that. You have two vowels together or you have E at the end. So if E is at the end, the total sound of the word will differ. So likewise for all the vowels we are going to see the difference. Okay, so what are the ways in which all the vowels combine to form a different sound? So for long vowels A, E, I, O, U, what are the cases we can see? For each one I'll show you a example. For each symbol I'll show you an example. Okay, first we'll go with letter A. So long vowels, letter A, that is the first vowel. We'll go with letter A. So in A vowel, what are the vowels combined to form a word? Only A. In second case, a consonant and E, that is two vowels A and E. Okay, that is in the end of the word you get the word letter E, that also has the sound of A. Next is AI, that is two vowels next to each other, so they also make the first letter sound, that is A. Next is AY. So already we learned Y acts as a vowel in such cases, so that it is also an optional vowel. So A sounds here So first, what letter is here? If two vowels combine together, only the first letter actual sound we have to pronounce it, right? So for vowel A, what are the letters we have? E, A, I, and A, Y. Okay. So in first A, baby, B, baby. Okay, here we are not pronouncing as a. The sound of a is a, but we are not pronouncing here as a. We are saying the actual sound of the letter, that is a, baby. The next one is a consonant. You have the consonant in between, and then at last you have e. In such cases, I took an example of base. Okay, b, a, s. So e is silent here, and also you say the actual sound of this letter, that is a, base. You would not tell this as bass. You should say it as base, as the first vowel says its actual sound. Next is a, I. So if both these vowels come together, what you have to say is the first vowel actual sound, that is w, a, t, wait. Okay. Next one is a, y. What sound you have to say? A, s, a, say. Okay. You should not say the phonic sound of the letter. You have to say the actual sound of the letter. Right? These are the places where we will be pronouncing a actual sound. Next, we'll go with the letter E. Okay. In E, the same E, and the next second case is that E consonant E. The third one is EA. Both are vowels. Okay. So you have to pronounce the actual sound of the first letter, first vowel, that is E. Next is continuous E, that is E. The next to E you have the same letter E. This also you will be pronouncing it in a long sound. All these letters you will be saying the actual sound of the vowel in a long sound. Okay. So E, sh, E, she. Okay. Th, is, these. E, you have to say the actual sound of the first letter. Okay. T, E, team. Next one, you have both E. You have to give a long sound of the actual sound of E. That is J, E, P. Jeep. Okay. So all these, in all such cases, you have to give the long sound of this alphabet vowel E. Okay. You should not say the phonic sound A. You have to say the actual sound. Okay. Next, in case of I, the same I. Next is I consonant E. The next one is IE. Two vowels combined together. Next is Y, IGH. Okay. So IGH is a three letter which gives the sound of this alphabet, this vowel I. Okay. So you have to say this sound, actual sound. This is I. So here at the end you have E. So you have to give it as a long sound, eyes. Next one, I, E. N, I, in. 9. Next, I. What is the first vowel? I. So you have to say the sound of the first letter, first vowel. Okay. P, I. Pi. The next one, E. Sh, I. Shy. Next one, IGH. The same sound I. I, t, fight. So these are the cases for the vowel I. Next, I'll go with vowel O and U. Okay. So these are the only cases in which we say the sound of the vowel long. So these are called as long vowel words. So with this combo, we can make number of words. Okay. Next is the vowel O. So for O letter, O, O, E, O, A, O, E, O, W. This is O consonant E. This is O, E combined together. That is, these are all vowels, those combined together. Okay. O, omit. O consonant E. N, O, is. Nose. Next, O, A. It makes the first letter, first vowel sound, that is O. R, O, D. Road. Next, OE makes the first vowel sound O. T, O. Next, OW also makes the sound of the letter O. S, L, O. Slow. Okay. So these are the cases where we use the long O sound. Okay. Next is your letter U. U, U consonant E. UE, that is the two vowels combined together. Then EW, double O. So why here EW and double O is that these two also makes the sound of the letter U, that is U, unit. U consonant E, T, U, B, tube. UE, the first letter sound B, L, U, blue. EW also you have the sound of the letter U. U. Few. Okay. So double O, B, L, U, bloom. Okay. So these are the cases of the words where we use the long U sounds. Okay. So now we have seen letter A sounds E, I, O and U. So these are the cases where we use the sound of the vowel in a actual sound in a longer pitch. Okay. So now we are going to see those vowels separately one by one. We are going to read each and every word for all the vowels, that is for A, E, I, O, U. Okay. Okay. First we'll go with letter A, that is the vowel, first vowel A, long A words. As I told you, a vowel, consonant and E. In this case, what you have to do is the vowel makes its actual sound. So we should not say these A as A. You have to say the actual sound of the vowel. Okay. So shall we start reading? Yes. A, K. Make. So as we have E at the end, we say the actual sound of this vowel A as A. Okay. You should not pronounce it as A. So in this case, you can find whether it is a short vowel or a long vowel. If you have D here other than E, then it is a short vowel. That is consonant, vowel and consonant. You don't have E. But if you have E at the end, the sound of the vowel changes, that you have to say the actual sound of the letter. Okay. So how we have to read is A, K. Make. Okay. The second word, the same case, you have the vowel A and at the end of the word you have the letter E. So if you have the letter E at the end of the word, the vowel behind has the actual, it takes its actual sound in which it is a long vowel word. You can identify like this. So T, A, P. Tape. T, A, P. Tape. Okay. The next one is the third word. Here also it is in the same case, that is you have E at the end. So the vowel takes its own sound. N, A, M. Name. Okay. N, A, M. Name. Next, the fourth one. S, A, F, E. Okay. The sound of S is S. The sound of A is A. But as it is a long vowel word, you have the letter E at the end. So the vowel inside will get its actual sound and it is long. You have to pronounce it as a long actual sound. So that S, A, F, safe. Again I'll read S, A, F, safe. Okay. So I'll come to the next word. G, A, V, E. Okay. So here it is also the same case. You have E at the end. Okay. So the vowel inside takes its own sound long. Okay, g, a, v, gave, g, a, v, gave. Okay, I'll come to the next word. D, A, T, E. The sound of D is D, A. The sound of T is T. As you have the last letter as E, the vowel here in the word takes its actual sound longer. So D, A, T. Date. D, A, T. Date. The next one, you have the same here, C A K E. Okay, you have E at the end, so the vowel inside takes its original sound, that is C K A K, cake. So now you can identify why these words are differ from short vowel words. In short vowel words, see if this E is not there. In short vowel, how will you pronounce? T, app, tap. But only we have added letter E at the end, the total word changes and the total sound of the word changes. Okay, so this is the difference you can identify from short vowel to long vowel. The next word, C A N E. Okay, so you have E at the end and the vowel takes its original sound, that is K A N. Cane. See, if this E is not there, how will you take this and read? K an. Can. It is a short vowel word. Okay. If you add E to it, the total word pronunciation changes and the meaning of the word itself changes only by adding E. Only this E makes this word as a long vowel word. Okay. The next word is D A N E. The sound of D is D. The sound of A. But we should not pronounce here it as A, because at the end of the letter you have letter E. Okay, so the vowel takes its actual sound longer. D, A, in. Dane. D, A, n. Dane. Okay. Next is the last word. T, A, P, E. Okay. T, A, P. Tape. T, A, P. Tape. Okay. So once again, I'll read all these words without saying separate sounds. Okay. M, A, K. Make. T, A, P. Tape. N, A, M. Name. A, F. Safe. G, A, V. Gave. D, A, T. Date. K, A, K. Cake. K, A, N. Cane. D, A, N. Dane. T, A, P. Tape. So in this case, you have to read with this long sound. Okay. Next, we'll go with the vowel E. So now you can understand how you can apply what I have shown you before for E, how you can apply. Next, I'll go with the vowel E. Okay, long E words. Okay, here I have two set of words, which one denotes the two vowels, the other denotes the other two vowels. Okay, here two vowels are walking, that is two vowels combined together in a single word. So in single word you have EA, and in other set in a single word you have EE. Okay, now first we can see the letter EA. In EA, the first letter takes the sound. Already I told you. So EA, what you have to say it as? E. Okay. So B, E, T. the second one becomes silent. The second vowel becomes silent. So you have to take the sound, actual sound of the first vowel. Okay. So how you have to read is the sound of B is B. For EA, what sound you have to say? E. B, E, T. The sound of T is T. So B, E, T. Beat. The next word, the first letter is S. The sound of letter S is S. Next, the same E, A you're having. What you have to say? E. Next, the sound of T is T. S. E, T. Seat. E, T. Seat. The next one, H, E, A, L. Okay. The sound of H is. Next, the EA, you have to take the first vowel. It says its actual sound. So, E, I. The sound of L is I. So, you have to read it as E, Il. Heel. E, Il. Heel. Yes. The next one, M, E, A, L. Okay. The sound of M is The sound of M is Next, E, A, you have to take the sound of the actual sound of the letter E. So, E, the letter sound of L is E. E, A. Meal. E, A. Meal. Okay. Next, I'll go with the next word. E, as the sound of N is okay. E, mean. The next one is the sound of J is J. The same E, A you have here. So it takes a first sound J. E, in. Gene. J, E, gene. So if EA comes together in a word, it is a long E vowel word. So the first vowel takes its actual sound. So how you have to pronounce this? E. So B, E, T. Beat. S, E, T. Seat. E, I. Heel. M, E, L. Meal. E, mean. Ch, E, in. Gene. Okay. So I hope you understand this EA concept. Next we'll go with the other two working vowels, that is the E, E. Okay. If both E come together, so the first vowel takes its actual sound, that is E. You have to say it as long. So this is a long vowel word. Okay. So if two E combines together in a word, it is a long vowel word. Okay. So I'll go with the first example. S, E, E, D. Okay. So you have two E continuously. So the sound of S is S. E, D. Seed. You should not say as seed. You should say it as long. That is E, D. Seed. The second one, W, E, E, D. The sound of W is W. W, E, D. Weed. So in all long words, what you have to say is the pitch of the sound should be long. That is W, E, D. Weed. Next one, the next word, N, E, E, D. Okay. The sound of N is N. Next, E, D. Need. N, E, D. Need. I'll come to the next word. The sound of letter R is R. The sound of letter R is R. E, D. Read. R, E, D. Read. So it is a long sound of this first vowel E. Okay. The next letter T, R, E, E. So this E, E, not only it comes in between, it also comes at the end of the word. Okay. As in the word T-R-E-E. So the sound of T is T. The sound of T is T. The sound of R is R. Then E, E. You have to say it long. T, R, E. Tree. T, R, E. Tree. Okay. So once again I'll repeat. If you have both E together, you have to say the first letter vowel sound longer, that is S. E, D. Seed. W, E, D. Weed. N, E, D. Need. R, E, D. Read. T, R, E. Tree. So this is the cases in which we use long vowel E words. Okay. So there is E, A and E, E. Like this you can frame number of words with this E, A, E, E and all. Okay. So but this is the concept that the first vowel, if two vowels are joining together, you have to take the first vowel sound as its actual sound. You should not use the phonic sound of the alphabet. Okay, next one, we'll go with the letter. We are going in an order. So we have completed the long vowel words of A, E. So we can go with the letter I. So in letter I, this is also I'm having two cases. That is, I'm showing you a two cases. That is I, E, which comes together. Okay, so this is I consonant E. That is, you have the E at the end. So the vowel inside should say its actual sound in a longer pitch. Okay, this is long I words. Okay, so P-I-P-E. See how we have to pronounce this word is that you have to clearly watch out what letter is at the end. So you have the end letter as E. So the vowel inside takes its actual sound in a longer pitch. Okay. P, I, P. Pipe. So the phonic sound of I is E. So you could not pronounce this word as peep. You have to say it as pipe, as the letter E is at the end of the word. So you have to say this in a longer sound. Okay. P, I, P. Pipe. P, I, P. Pipe. Okay. Next I'll come to the next one. L, I, M, E. Okay. Here also you have the letter E at the end. Okay. So the sound of L is E. Next you have to give the longer sound of its original sound, that is I. The sound of M is Okay. So how you have to pronounce? E, I, lime. E, I, lime. Okay. I'll come to the next word. K, I, T, E. The sound of K is K. Next, you have the N letter as E. So the vowel takes its original sound, that is I, long I sound. K, I, T. The sound of T is T. So K, I, T. Kite. K, I, T. Kite. The next one, H, I, V, E. The sound of H is. Next, you have the letter E at the end. So the vowel takes its longer sound, that is I, V. Hive. I, V. Hive. The next one, R, I, D, E. The sound of R is R, and the end you have E. So you have to give the longer actual sound of the vowel, that is R, I, D. Ride. R I D. Ride. The next word B I K E. Okay. The sound of B is B. The sound of I is, we should not say the sound of I. Okay. So you have the letter E at the end of the word. So what you have to do is you have to say the actual sound of the vowel. So B I K. Bike. B I K. Bike. So once again I'll read this. So if you have the letter E at the end of the word, so the vowel takes its original sound, that is P I P. Pipe. L I M. Lime. K I T. Kite. I V. Hive. R I D. Ride. B I K. Bike. So this is the way you have to read the long I word in case of E at the end. The second case is that when I and E, both these vowels combine together, what you have to say the sound, you have to take the first vowel sound longer, that is P-I-E. So you have to take the first vowel, that is P-I. Only you are going to pronounce these two letters. The last E is silent. Okay. P-I. Pi. P-I. Pi. Okay. The second word T-I-E. Here also you have the same case, that is you have to take the actual sound of the first vowel, that is T-I. Tie. T-I. Tie. The next one is D-I-E. Okay. So the same case you are having here. So you have to take the actual sound of this first vowel. D-I. Die. Now you know the reasons that why we are saying such words to pronounce in a different way. Okay. So we have phonic sounds for each and every letter, but in some cases why we are changing the sound, why the meaning of the word changes. So now you can come to know what are the reasons we are changing the words. Okay. Next is L I E. So the sound of L is E. Next, the sound I, we should not pronounce it. So because I and E both combine together, so we have to take the actual sound of the first vowel, that is I. You have to tell it in a longer sound. L I. Lie. L I. Lie. Okay. The next one. What is the sound of C? K. Sound of R? R. So the same I, E. So you have to take the sound of the first vowel I. Next, at last, D. Okay. K, R, I, D. Cried. K, R, I, D. Cried. Okay. So this I, that is not a rule that it should come only at the end. It also comes in between the word also. Okay. Next one, F R I E D. So the sound of F is F. The sound of R is R. Next I E you have to take the sound of the first vowel, that is I. Next D. R I D. Fried. R I D. Fried. Okay. So once again I'll repeat all these words. So if you have IE, you have to take the actual sound of the first vowel, that is P I. Pi. T I. Tie. D I. Die. L I. Lie. K R I D. Cried. K R I D. Cried. R I D. Fried. I d, fried. So this is the way you have to read the long I vowel words. Okay. And the next one is we can go with letter O. So with this combo of vowels, what you can do is you can make many of words. So each and every kid has a capability of building words. Okay. So if he know the sound of O, he has to just write the first consonant and the last consonant, because in between two vowels he is known, so that he can make many words. So even a kid can build a word by his own. So with this help of sound, that is what I told you, with this help of sounds we can make our words by own. There is no need to have a book or note to copy. Only with the sounds we can build the word. So everyone is capable of writing a paragraph and also a story by knowing the sounds of the alphabets. So sounds of alphabets is the very base thing for writing, read and also reading. So for written language and spoken language, sound is very important. So with the sounds, with the rules and with the known combo of letters, we can write number of letters, words. Okay. So next we'll go with letter O, that is vowel O. In this I have given you the case of E at the end and OA, in which both the vowels combine together, in which the first one takes its sound. So in letter O, E, first we'll go with N O T E. So the sound of N is N. You have E at the last of the word. So what you have to do is you have to give the longer sound for the vowel, in which not the phonic sound, the actual sound of the letter. Okay. N O T. Note. How we have to pronounce? N O T. Note. The next word, M O P E. The sound of M is M. Okay. So you have E at the end of a word. So the vowel takes its own sound longer. That is M O P. Mop. M O P. Mop. So E, while coming at the end of the word, it becomes silent. So it gives its sound also to the vowel to become longer. Okay. The third one is C-O-D-E. The sound of C is K. The sound of D is D. As we have E at the end, you have to give a longer sound, that is the actual sound of the vowel. So C O D E. For this word, how you have to pronounce is that K O D. Code. K O D. Code. The next word is J O K E. Here also you have E at the end of the word. So this becomes silent and the vowel inside takes its actual sound, and we have to pronounce it in a longer pitch. Okay. The sound of J is J. Next you have E. So what you have to do is you have to say the original sound of the vowel J O K. Joke. How you have to read? J O K. Joke. Okay. So the next word is R-O-S-E. In this case also you have E at the end. So you have to say the actual longer sound of the vowel. First vowel. Okay. R-O-S. Rose. How you have to say? R-O-S. Rose. The next word is R-O-P-E. Okay. You have E at the end of the word. So you have to make the longer actual sound of the vowel. Okay. The sound of R is R. O-P. Rope. R-O-P. Rope. So once again I'll read So in long O vowel words, if you have E at the end, the first vowel O inside takes its actual longer sound, that is N, O, T. Note. M, O, P. Mop. K, O, D. Code. J, O, K. Joke. R, O, S. Rose. R, O, P. Rope. See, why I am giving this type of list of words is nothing but it will be very easy for the kids to just change the consonant and write. So it makes them to read continuously, in which if you read continuously, it will come in practice that if E at the last, you have to give the actual longer sound. So it will bring in practice. For that only I have written in this pattern. The next case what we will see is OA. So O and A both are vowels. So if you have the vowels together, you have to say the first vowel actual sound as longer. Okay. So what you have to say is, in this word BOAT, in this word you have to say the first vowel sound longer. That is not the phonic sound, the actual sound of the letter. The sound of B is B. Next O, T. A becomes silent. So B, O, T. Boat. The second word COAT. COAT. In this case also you have OA next to other. So the sound of C is K. O takes its actual sound longer, that is O. Next the sound of T is T. So K, O, T. Coat. K, O, T. Coat. Next word GOAT. The same case OA. So you have to say the actual sound longer of the first vowel O. The sound of G is G. O. The sound of T is T. G, O, T. Goat. G, O, T. Goat. The next word is LOAD. So the same one, first vowel takes its longer sound, that is the sound of L is E. O, D. Load. L, O, D. Load. Okay. Next, coming to the next word, ROAD. The sound of R is R. Next, the sound of D is D. Okay. R, O, D. Road. How we have to read is that R, O, D, as both the vowels combined together. So we are taking the first vowel's original sound longer. R, O, D. Road. The next word SOAP. The same OA here. So you have to say O as longer. That is SOP. Soap. SOP. Soap. So this is the way you have to say the longer O vowel words. So once again I'll say these words. B-O-T. Boat. K-O-T. Coat. G-O-T. Goat. L-O-D. Load. R-O-D. Road. S-O-P. Soap. So these are the words in which we'll say it in a longer vowel words. Okay. Next we'll go with the last vowel, that is vowel U. Okay. So we have completed the long vowel words of vowel A, E, I and O. Now we are going to see the long vowel sound of the words in which we use U vowel here. Okay. So in this also U a consonant, and at the end you have E in one case, and in another case what is that? U and E continuously, the next, both the vowels come by next, in which it takes the first vowel's original longer sound. Okay, so first we'll go with this one, that is U. So in this word, you have E at the end. If you have E at the end, you have to give the longer original sound of this vowel. Okay, so C U B E. The sound of C is K. As you have E at the end, you have to say the longer sound of this vowel, that is K U B. Cube. K U B. Cube. Okay, so I'll go with the next word, M U T E. You have E at the end, so you have to give the longer sound of the vowel. Okay, the sound of M is M. M U T. Mute. M U T. Mute. Next, the third one. So the letters are F, L, U, T, E. Okay, the sound of letter F is F. The sound of L is L. Next, you have E, the last of the word. So you take the longer sound of this vowel, U, T. L, U, T. Flute. Again, I'll say L, U, T. Flute. Next, the next word is D, U, N, E. You have E at the end. So the vowel takes its original longer sound. Okay. The sound of D is D. U, in. Dune. D. U, in. Dune. The next word, T U B E. You have E at the end of the word, so the vowel takes its longer sound, T U B. Tube. T U B. Tube. Next one, you have the letters F, U, M, E. So the sound of F is F. Next, you have letter E at the end. So the vowel takes its longer original sound, that is F. U, M. Fume. U, M. Fume. Okay. So once again, I'll read all these words. K, U, B. Cube. M U T. Mute. F L U T. Flute. D U N. Dune. T U B. Tube. F U M. Fume. The next in the case of U E. Okay, so B L U E. You have both the vowels together, so the first vowel takes its longer sound. Okay, B L U. Blue. B L U. Blue. Next one, G L U E. The sound of G is G. The sound of L is L. Next, the vowel takes first sound U. G, L, U. Glue. G, L, U. Glue. The next word, C, L, U, E. The sound of C is K. Next, the sound of L is L. So, the first vowel takes its sound. So, U. K, L, U. Clue. K, L, U. Clue. The next one. So, in this case also, it is not that it should come only at the end. It also comes in between the words also. Okay. So, T, ish, shoe. Tissue. Tish, you. Tissue. So, in this, if we are teaching a kid, what you have to do is T, ish. So if the same letters it repeats, you have the same sound. T, ish, u. Tissue. Next, S, T, A, T, U, E. So U, E, U takes its sound. So what you have to T, A, chu. Statue. Okay. So tissue, statue in this case is you have to blend these letters and then you have to take the sound of the letter U. Okay. So in U vowel words, what you have is U consonant E. In that case also you have to make the vowel as a longer one, and in UE you have to take the first vowel sound as longer. So this is long U vowel words. Okay. So far we have seen all the long vowel words, that is vowel A. We have seen vowel A. In vowel A words you have E at the end, so you have to make the longer sound of the vowel A. Okay. Next is letter E. In the case of E, what we have seen is EA. The first vowel takes its longer sound. In case of EE, the first vowel takes a sound as longer sound of E. Okay. Next is your letter I. In long I words, I consonant E also takes the longer I sound. Next, IE, the first vowel takes is longer sound, that is I. This is long I vowel words. Next is your vowel O. So in O vowel words, O consonant E. So O takes its longer sound. In case of OA, the first vowel takes its longer sound, that is O. This is long O words. Okay. Next is the last vowel U. Okay. So U consonant E, the vowel takes its the longer sound. In the case of two vowels U and E, the first vowel takes its longer sound, that is U. Okay. This is the long U vowel words. So these are the long vowel words what we have learned today. So kindly have a look over our channel. We have many interesting lives every weekends. So we are offering online and offline phonics classes also. So kindly refer to the contact number given below. So thank you so much for watching. So next session it will be very interesting. I'll come up with many more topics. So thank you so much for watching. We'll be seeing you in the next session. Thank you.